Hey guys, TGKS Productions. For this GTA Live video, I'm going to be discussing how to play and how to win the Kart Krash deathmatch mode, and I'm also going to be giving a review of this mode from my perspective at the end of this video. First up here, let's discuss how you can play the Kart Krash deathmatch mode in terms of being able to join it. And first up here, if you go to the online tab, go to jobs, play jobs, Rockstar created, and then down to death matches. You can find the 7 new Kart Krash death matches, 4 of which are normal death matches where it's a free-for-all, 3 of which are team death matches. That really doesn't matter, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is the way you'll always be able to join the Kart Krash deathmatch mode. Typically, you're going to be hosting if you start from this point. Sometimes it might throw you in with random players, but typically you're hosting from this point. Again, you'll always be able to join from the pause menu. For this week particularly, August 19th through the 25th, this is the featured series. This is a new mode. So if you go to the Play Quick Job app, you go to the featured series, it is going to throw you into the Kart Krash, one of the Kart Krash death matches. And then also if you come to the featured series marker on the map here, you can either join directly or go on call. And I'm showing you here right here where it is located. So if you come down here, you decide to join through this, it will throw you into a Kart Krash deathmatch. And then also you may get an invite from Martin, which is pretty unreliable, but that is another way you can possibly join the Kart Krash deathmatch mode. So upon entering Kart Krash Full Auto, the host has a number of options to choose from. You'll notice that Kart Krash Full Auto 1 is actually set to Deathmatch. However, if we look at the type here, which is the first setting we have last man standing, last team standing. If you actually change the type to last team standing, this will become a team deathmatch. Vice versa, if you have a Kart Krash Full Auto that's a team deathmatch and you change to last man standing, it'll become a regular deathmatch where it's a free-for-all. So you're not actually bound to what the mission or what the deathmatch starts with. You also have a time limit here. The most amount of time you can set on is 60 minutes or 1 hour. Might make a little bit more money that way. Probably eventually will be a cap. And also you have number of lives. And this is the number of lives that each player will have. The max being 10 lives that each player can have. And again, probably make the match last a little longer, make a little bit more money, but probably eventually will also be a cap. And you need at least a minimum of 2 players to start Kart Krash Full Auto. Before entering the match, you do have the choice of what cart you want to use. You can either have the Dinkovito Modern or the Dinkovito Classic. Now, personally, I like using the Dinkovito Modern just because its stats are overall improved. I just like a little bit more. Do I really think it matters what cart you go in with, taking the match? No. In fact, you don't even need to own a custom one. Honestly, the stats for the regular ones that are non-owned compared to the upgraded ones, there's really no difference. So using your own one, I don't think really even matters that much. So it really just comes down to preference of what cart you want to use. I've used both of them, had success with both. I just like to think of Vita Modern a little bit better. It's my preference. From there, you can choose what outfit you want, even your free mode one. You can even choose like a bulletproof helmet. Do I think that really helps? No. I just choose it just, like I said, for preference. From there, you're ready to enter the match. Upon entering Kart Krash, all carts, all players have machine guns applied to their carts, which they can utilize, shoot at other players, have the possibility of killing them. Essentially, the last player alive wins the mode, or if there's a tie, it's going to go the player with the most kills. So kills are somewhat important in this mode. Obviously, having the most fun with this mode. And it really comes down to these power-ups, as I just collected one there. Now, all power-ups are randomized. You can see they have a question mark. I believe there's about 10 power-ups in this mode, but you don't know which one you're going to be grabbing. And essentially, you can hold up to 2 power-ups at a time, and you can actually switch between them, at least on PlayStation, by hitting hitting square on Xbox, hitting X. I'm not really sure what it'd be on PC, but the power-ups are really how you are going to have the most success with this mode. And you activate all power-ups by hitting the left joystick on consoles. I'm not exactly sure what that would be on PC. Now with these 10 power-ups, I will be ranking them in a way where I believe the ones that would give you the most success in acquiring kills, all of them can be used to your advantage. But the first one we're starting here is the one that I collected, is the rocket, and also just got 2 kills with. The rocket, I believe, is one of the best power-ups you can get with this mode and also get kills with. And really when you want to utilize the rocket is when you're pretty much bumping right into the player. That way you're ensuring that you don't miss. If you shoot when the player's sort of swerving around in front of you, or not that close to you, you're going to have a good chance at missing. You pretty much want to run right into the player and shoot the rocket. Your cart may catch on fire, but you won't lose any health and you won't die. In fact, another way is, if they're up against a wall, that's a great time to shoot the rocket also. You could also even take out the Sasquatch with the rocket, which is really nice. The only thing you really can't destroy is the tank. So, that's pretty much indestructible. But yeah, the rocket is, I would say, one of the best ways to acquire kills in this mode. And again, the time that you want to utilize the rocket is when you're pretty much bumping right into the player, and that's when you want to shoot it off. What's also cool is you can even shoot the rocket from behind. This is actually a feature from the original races. If you set it on GTA races, you collected a rocket, and you could actually shoot it behind you. So if you look behind you and you shoot the rocket, you can't shoot behind you. Obviously, I don't really recommend that, because if a player is probably tailing you, they may have a rocket also. But it is kind of an interesting feature that is in this mode. The second best ability or power up, I believe, for getting kills in this mode is the Sasquatch. Really, when you want to deploy the Sasquatch is when you're right on top of a player. It may not register right away, but eventually it will, and it will crush and kill the player. If you deploy the Sasquatch too early, the carts will likely be able to outmaneuver the Sasquatch, and unless the player happens to get stuck, you're likely going to end up, you're probably not going to get any kills. You can go up against another Sasquatch, probably not going to get anywhere. You can also, go up against a tank, also probably not going to get anywhere, since that's pretty much indestructible. But bottom line, you want to be pretty much right on top or very close to the player when you deploy the Sasquatch. For some of these clips, I wasn't really that careful in doing so. I should have been a little bit closer. You also want to be careful from the explosions, if you're not flying off the map, because you can get a kill and then lose one of your lives at the same time. But bottom line, you want to be pretty much right on top of a player when deploying the Sasquatch, or at least very close. Something else you can do with the Sasquatch is, if a player is utilizing the tank power-up, you can sort of just wait around them, wait till they exit the power-up or the power-up ends for the tank, and then hurry up and deploy your Sasquatch power-up and crush them. It does trick them out a lot of times, so it's something else you may be able to try and may be able to use to your advantage. Now, the third best power-up, I believe, for this mode as far as getting kills is the EMP power-up. Now, this power-up, you're essentially able to take a little bit more damage and deal a little bit more damage. Notice your ammo is blue. You'll also notice that you sort of have this like electric in front of your cart. And there's really a few different times I recommend, possibly deploying this power-up. One is if you're low on health, obviously be able to take a little bit more damage. You don't have the repair power-up, which repairs you. Your card gives you full health. If you don't have that, you can trigger this. Obviously, if you see an opportunity to, just kill a player or two, maybe they're low on health, deploy it. Also in sync, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, with some of the mine power-ups that you're able to acquire. You can almost utilize those, and then this at the same time if you happen to have both, to bait a player in. Again, I'll talk about that a little bit later when we get to those power-ups. But yeah, there's a few different times you can apply this power-up, but it's definitely another one that can rack up some kills in Kart Krash. Coming in at number 4 here, we have the bomb power-up. And honestly, I'd almost put this at number 3, although it's a lot more tricky to use and to get kills with. There's a few ways that I like to use the bomb. One is you can obviously just deploy this in a random spot, hope that it blows a player up. In fact, I do believe this stays even after you are killed. You can still kill a player with the bomb. The other way I like to use it a little bit more efficiently is you could drop it right in front of a player who is behind you. Of course, that is risky because they may end up having missiles or the rocket power up and take you out before you're able to do so. Another very strategic way to use the bomb is by setting it up in a strategic location. For example, I usually like at the very top of a ramp. That way when a player goes up the ramp, they have really no time to react. They're not going to see it. Boom, they're going to hit it. It's going to take them out. So those are really the ways that I like to use the bomb. It is pretty, effective at getting kills. It's just a little bit more tricky to use than maybe the first couple power-ups that we talked about. For the number 5 power-up here, we have the Shunt. And essentially the Shunt gives you incredible speed and momentum to hit your opponent with incredible force to make them go flying. Really the best time to use a Shunt is when you and your opponent are close to the edge of the arena. That way you can hit them with the Shunt, make them go flying off, kill them. You can even use the Shunt on the Sasquatch, which is nice to prevent you from being crushed. All in all, though, it is a bit of a risk using this particular power-up because you have to get close to a player, and obviously if they have missiles, they could easily use them on you, so you have to be quick and strategic when using this power-up. If you use it in the right way, it can be effective. Number 6 for the power-ups here, we have the Tank. Now, to be honest, the Tank, its best attribute is that you're pretty much indestructible, and when you exit the Tank, you have full health, just like when you exit the Sasquatch. So if you're in a pickle, you don't have the repair power-up, you can just deploy this just to get full health and be indestructible. But I have yet to get a kill with the Tank. It has the plasma gun on it, and really it doesn't do a lot of damage. It can be effective. I'm not saying it's going to be completely ineffective, but as far as getting kills, not the best power-up for that. Again, you are indestructible, so there is that plus, at least for a short period of time. For the number 7th power-up, we have the Repair. And you're not going to be obviously getting any kills with this power-up, but I figured I'd just include it in because the last 3 power-ups I just don't think are super effective. At least not as these other ones, but the Repair power-up is great to have just sort of stashed away as a second power-up you're holding on to. That way, if you're obviously low on health, you can easily just deploy it really quickly, get full health. So, it's kind of one of those like hideaway power-ups. You want to just store it as your second one. It is effective, but of course you're not going to be getting any kills with this power-up. To finish up the power-ups here, we have 3 mine power-ups. We'll start with the EMP Mine. It's indicated at the top of the screen with the lightning bolt symbol. I believe this is the best mine out of the 3 that you can end up acquiring. And similar with the bomb, I like to drop the mines really like at tops of ramps where players aren't going to be expecting them. That way, when they're coming up, they're not really going to have enough time to stop. And you can see the EMP mine is also indicated with a blue flashing light. The reason I like the EMP mine is if you're able to bait a player in, which is sort of what I'm trying to do here by staying around the ramp where I drop the EMP mine. What the EMP mine does, it actually kills the engine of the vehicle completely for a few seconds, as you can see there with that player, and then essentially the player is just going to be stopped there, and they can't do anything. You can easily take them out. Again, you sort of have to bait them in, or maybe a teammate can take them out. But with the other mines also, we also have the Slick Mine, which is the other one I really like, that is indicated with the blue flashing light. And essentially with the Slick Mine, it's going to release a bunch of like oil, going to make a player go out of control. This is best also used at like the top of a ramp, especially where they're going to go, where they can possibly go off the map because they're not going to be able to control their vehicle. The Kinetic Mine is probably the one I like the least, essentially, and I don't really have a good kill example with this one, but essentially what it does is just throws the vehicle into the air, and you could bait a vehicle this way. I just don't think it's necessarily maybe as effective as the other 2 mines. That's just my personal opinion, but that is all the power-ups in the Kart Krash full auto deathmatch mode. Now to end up this video, I just want to give a final review of this mode and my thoughts on it. Sort of a pro and con form. As far as the pros, I do believe that this mode is a fairly fun mode. It reminds me of Vehicle Vendetta, an old adversary mode, just with the power-ups in this mode are a lot, using a lot more like content that we've gotten over the last couple years, like the Sasquatch, the Arena War DLC, the Evade and Persuade tank with the Diamond Casino Resort or Diamond Casino Heist update. So these mode is also great for earning XP, and considering that the carts between the ones that are owned and non-owned, there's really not much of a stat difference. New players can easily play this mode, earn a ton of XP, and level up quite a bit, which is nice. And just to throw in, even Arena 7 was pretty cool. I like that one. But those, I would say, are the pros of this mode. And the only thing you didn't hear me mention is cash. Cash really is not that great with this mode. I'd say the best earnings come with the last man standing. You seem to earn a lot more with that particular type rather than the last team standing from my experience. But yeah, cash does not seem to be that great with this mode. Typically with the adversary modes, the cash earning is a little bit better because you have multiple rounds. This is always just like one round and it's over. So unfortunately, cash earning is not that great with this mode. I would say is the main con of Kart Krash Full Auto. In any case, guys, that's pretty much everything I have to present to you in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it extremely beneficial. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and have a great day.